everybody, it's Rory from ANSgear. We've got brand new pants up on the table from HK on their HSTL line. So this is the HSTL 2.0 tactical right here. So let's go and look over this pant. So first off, this is a straight leg pant. This is not a jogger cut or jogger fit pant. So straight leg pant with adjustable cuffs at the bottom so you can taper them at the bottom around your ankle to keep them from dragging or getting caught on your shoes. But the fit or the cut is a normal straight leg pair of pants, not a jogger fit. We'll start at the top. So we'll start with the fly on the top. It is a button, Velcro, zippered fly. So it's got three sealing points, I guess, I don't know what you want to call it. 3 points of closure. We've got our inside zipper, then we've got a Velcro and a snap or a button at the top right there to close it all up. Now the front piece here, this front panel, it is padded right there, so offer you a little bit of extra protection from front impact. And then the bottom section of the crotch, the groin area, is four-way stretch material. So we've got plenty of stretch going in both directions, so we're not gonna blow the crotch out of these pants, which most paintball pants now have this stretch four-way area down here because there's a lot of bending, crawling, ducking, stretchy crotch activities going on that you don't want your pants to rip on. So that is necessary in this area of the pant. Now up around the top, we have an elastic waistband up here with adjustable Velcro on the side. So if you feel like these may be a little too loose on you, you do have some adjustment to the side. Now let me just pull this through here and you can see that this is the amount of adjustment you have. This piece of Velcro, this little loop, is going to go through, and you can adjust from here that much to, that much. So you do have a slight amount. It looks like about, 1.5 inches to 2 inches of adjustment on there. So you're definitely not going to want to buy these pants giant and then just assume like, hey, I can adjust the side of them because there's an adjustment on there. No, you want to make sure you're buying the pants to fit you. And then if you need to snug them up a little bit, you can right there. But it does have the elastic waistband with a slight amount of adjustability at the top. Don't rely on that adjustability to make the pants fit properly. Buy them fitting you properly and then make a small adjustment. Coming down the front of the pant, we talked about the stretchy zones. We do have pockets on the side, left and right pocket. They are not sealed pockets in any way, though. They don't have a zipper, or they don't have Velcro, nothing. It is just an open pocket that you can slide some stuff into. So if you're planning on putting things in this pocket while you're playing, make sure it's not something important that you don't want to lose because there's nothing holding it into that pocket. Coming down the front, let's just talk about padding. So there's reinforced padding on the knees and the hips on these pants. And the hips, it's kind of on the backside. We'll talk about that when we flip the pant over. But there is some padding on the hip right here. But we do have padding on the knee, which a lot of pants are trending away from lately. We don't see a lot of padding. This is not crazy thick padding. It is padded though. There is a pad inside. There's some foam to take a little bit of that pressure off your knee. Depending on what you're playing on, if you're playing turf, maybe you don't need it. But if you're playing anywhere else, I would definitely recommend still probably wearing some knee pads underneath. But it's up to you. Do have that knee pad running through both. And it is a nice long knee pad on there. So it's going to cover your knee cap area when you're, ducking, kneeling, whatever you happen to be doing. Sliding, crawling. Down to the bottom, the cuff, like I said, is adjustable. So you can fold that over and bring that cuff down depending on how you want it to fit at the bottom. I would recommend it being relatively snug up against your ankle so you keep stuff from going in and you keep your pants from getting caught underneath your shoes or your cleats and tripping you or just destroying the bottom of your pants. Because it will happen. So try not to let it happen. We flip it over on the back side. We do have nice breathable mesh material back here so you can get that airflow in and out. Again, we have our adjustments on our ankles. Moving up, we have dual pod swab slots. Well, I guess not really pod swab, just swab spots right there. You might be able to fit a pod swab in there. I don't know if you want to run around the field with a pod swab though. Wouldn't make any sense. So a regular barrel swab, let's call it that. Definitely the folding style, so you can slide it down in there. I would not use like a straight version. It's going to be sticking out and you're going to lose it when you're running around. So foldable swab, slide it in there. You've got one pocket there and another one on the other side as well, so you can fit them in. Moving up the back, we want to talk about the hip pads. So we've got a section right here, which has the same kind of padding as we saw in the knee, just to give you some extra protection on your hips. Up towards the top of the pant on the back side, stretch zone material. Now this is where your pack is going to be resting a lot, so you want to have a little bit of stretch right there. Plus, when your pack is around your pants, so it's really holding on to this part right here, and then you're doing some movement down here, you want to have some stretch so that this can move independent of the top section right here, because that top section is not going anywhere. You got it squashed underneath your pack, but you still want your pants to give on the back. So when you're leaning or bending or whatever, this whole thing can move and not be restricted and end up just ripping or fraying or falling apart. All right. HSTL 2.0s. Let's look inside real quick. I think these have a mesh liner on the inside, which for me I would take out, but some people do like that. Yeah, it does have a mesh liner, but it is not full length. It's like a short length mesh liner. Let me see how far this goes down in here. I'm trying to pull it down. So yeah, it's like right about there, the mesh liner. And it is stitched in. You can see that's like the leg hole coming out of there. It is stitched in there. Looks like it's stitched in like 2 spots on the sides. So I mean, you could get in there and you could cut that out if you really wanted to get rid of it. I'm not sure why that's in there. I don't know. I take them out. If I ever get a pair of pants that have that in there, it's coming right out. But it's up to you, however you want to do it. So there is a bit of a mesh liner on the inside, but it only runs about that far down. So it's not like a full-length mesh liner. That would be a nightmare. But you can cut that out if you want. If you don't need it in there, it's up to you. All right. I think that takes care of it. That's going over the whole pant there. HSTL 2.0 Tacticals. They're up on the website. Just make sure you're buying your pants to fit you properly. That's really the one thing right there. And then use the tiny adjustments to make it fit even better. Buy your pants to size. Check them out on the website. HSTL 2.0 Tacticals. They're available for you at ANSgear.com.